out of 5. Tree taking that first game there, thus tying up the series. So if you happen to miss the game, I mean, Willowkeeper looking good, but the biggest thing to take from it, we just saw a game where Lord South Forest, Midas, and even Soulstealer were all on the same team on Willowkeeper, and they won the game. Lord South Forest is officially 100% win percentage now, and Midas is now 3-0 as far as stats are concerned. So I'm just saying, there's something there. No, but obviously on top of a level 1 Conqueror, I mean, so many things just went so well for Willowkeeper that game, and even with it being so unusual as far as how it played out. But man, oh man, excited now to see how again, this is going to be interesting to me, though. How does the draft develop now in Game 2? Because it was just so weird in Game 1, especially on Willowkeeper, and that worked out so well. I don't think it's going to be the same, but
who knows, man? Who knows? This is incredible. Man, I'm so pumped for this game. Game 1 was insane, and I hope Game 2 and Game 3 follow suit. So obviously it's going to be a first pick Rhapsody for Tree. A little bit sort of surprising. Normally they don't like to pick up the first pick on Rhapsody. They still do get their beloved Magnus, though, and Zinc do follow up with a Kraken. Insane is actually right-clicking a Tempest there, so if they do pick up the Tempest, it's going to be quite a lot of teamfight already in the hands of Zinc. But yeah, like you said in Game 1, obviously, what does Tree have to offer outside of a sort of pocket strategy that they run in Game 1? I guess we'll have to see. But I mean, one thing to talk about though is that their team sort of decisions and their sort of leadership just seem to be very, very much on point, unlike the last winner bracket final. So hopefully, Tree can sort of carry that into this game here.
Interesting bands here. They have the Ophelia into the Doctor Repulsor, and then Cthulhuphon Swiftblade coming out overall. So the first pick priority Rhapsody here on Willowkeeper. Kraken, though, the response, Magnus into Tempest, and now Pharaoh coming out. So, of course, Pharaoh, a great Tempest stopper. They already got that option out with him. So, we'll see how Sync shapes up here as far as their final pick, but they definitely could have as easily gone Parasite, but they choose to get the Tempest synergy here as far as their jungle go-to. Again, they also get their hands on Kraken, which, like we've been talking about, they really stated that they feel like this is the best hero right now on the scene, that you could argue, as far as just where he can play and all over the place. So, Glacius being right-clicked. You see also Vindicator even being right-clicked, so.
I mean, they ran Vindicator in the last series, I think, in the winner bracket final, and it does just revolve around this very heavy sort of teamfight-oriented little lineup here for Zinc. And one thing I'd like to point out, though, is that Insania, I think he was talking about on the cast, he said team fights is all what matters. I mean, you could have a good laning phase, you could have a good late game, but it's all about the team fight. And, I mean, he is correct in that regard, but I do have to disagree with him in a slight degree, because if you pick, obviously, Kraken and Tempest, you're going to win those team fights regardless of what the enemy team has. The enemy team has to have some kind of sort of strategy or some kind of feature to really sort of work around the team fights. Maybe they have a heavier gank, maybe they have a heavier late game, but they've got to try to find, or Tree have to find a way around the just pure team fight potential that Zinc have. If they can do that, then that's the key to sort of unlocking this game and winning Game 2 as well. Because already, I mean, they do have some good teamfight heroes for Tree, already like Magnus and Rhapsody, but compared to sort of Zinc, just with the Kraken and Tempest alone, that offers incredible teamfight that I don't think Tree will be able to handle.
I like the foresight there, the Vindicator band coming out for Willowkeeper.
Yeah.
It's almost as if they could have seen that right click happening, and they decided to take it out with as well and not have to deal with it in the end. But yeah, Gemini and Warby so far happening here for Willowkeeper. So again, you just feel like something's going to be a little bit different maybe with these next couple of picks, especially on Willowkeeper's side. But it's just a matter of what. Even panning out Wild Soul, geez, the Warbies and the Wild Soul. I think they learned a lot from yesterday, man. I really do, and just how Sync is playing some very heavy push potential with heroes like a Wild, really a Keeper combo, things like that. So. Now, with that said, Keeper is still on the board, and honestly...
Yeah, Tempest Keeper, man.
That's classic. We've seen that once or twice before.
Oh, please not Moon Queen. That's enough cancer for one day. I'm joking.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, going back to actually the bands here from Fusion, the Warbeast and the Wild Soul. Talking of what Insane I said actually in the last cast as well, Tree, they do like to run the sort of pseudo-defensive trident, kind of like a jungling Magnus. And actually a puller in that respect, either a Warbeast or a Wild Soul works incredibly well, because if you have a puller, then you could pull all the creeps back to your tower and not be in danger, obviously, from the ganks coming from the jungle. So really good bands here coming out from Fusion, and again with the Soulstealer. So, I mean, they wanted teamfight potential, and they've got it just with that one hero as well. So.
Yeah, and again, that's a little like force out of, you know what, we think they may look to be doing some grouping up, some push kind of strategies. They already got a Tempest. He alone's good at that. Maybe they would throw it, but you could have possibly been thinking, hey, they could go Keeper here, you know, maybe another minion kind of based hero. So just have a solo student just in case, but also worked out well for them last game. And yeah, he's a very involved kind of carry presence hero in that mid game especially. So Monkey King going to be coming out. And speaking of a hero that's good at taking advantage of those that can't really get away, Monkey King great at that. So almost like a response to the Soul Stealer pickup, I would think.
Yeah, and actually I really do like this Monkey King pickup because, like that has been noted before, Tree do like to run a sort of solo mid. We saw it in the last game, although it matched up against a Puppet Master in a 1v1 situation. Regardless, Tree, they like to run a solo mid. And when that happens, you know, you don't want to be drafting like, you know, your strong dual midders like your Prisoner, like your Devourer. You want to pick a hero that can take effect of the lot of farm that you're going to get, because obviously you're going to be a 2v1 situation. And Monkey King is perfect for that, because obviously he's going to get a lot of farm in the middle lane, because he's going to be uncontested. He's most likely going to be in a 1v2 matchup. And with a lot of farm on Monkey King, obviously he can have a lot of impact in the game, as well carry into the late game as well. You know, on top of it, any carry hero that, you know, Zinc might pick up, it might pick up a Moon Queen on the 5th pick. But regardless, this Monkey King pickup, though, I do actually like it coming out from Flensmeister.
We see here the Monkey King stats, and something tells me, are all of those sync? I wouldn't be surprised if all those games happen to be sync.
Yeah,
I believe they are, yeah. So I believe maybe like 3 of them, I'm making 1 on Flensmeister. But anyways, the point being, yeah, they are the one team right now that clearly likes to play this hero still and make it work. So Devourer been right-clicked over here for Tree. We talked about the last game even. I mean, Boxy has played it recently, and in fact even yesterday, and definitely was impressive to watch on it. So wouldn't be out of the question here possibly to see that pickup coming out here. But it would make for some, I guess more of the Magnus secondary support, yeah. On Rita Z is not something out of the question.
Yeah.
It's something that you probably would see. So.
Oh my god.
Or just go Rampage, you know, just pick up Rampage and do other stuff.
Man.
Again, you felt like it's like they're going to do something different. They're going to. And they do.
Really?
So.
Oh, man.
The question is where now? Okay, so another hero we haven't
Suicide.
seen. You think it's going to be a Suicide, okay.
It has to be, because they're most likely going to run a jungle Magmus. Obviously, Pharaoh's going to be mid, Salsa's going to be in the bottom lane, and Rampage is going to be Suicide. And the hero, I mean, he obviously doesn't have an escape mechanism, but like I've said before, if you get boots early enough on a Suicide hero, I think any hero can Suicide if obviously the player is good enough, and obviously Boxy is in that respect. He can have a lot of roaming in terms of ganking around with his sort of charge. He doesn't need to be in the lane to get obviously farm in that respect. He can have impact outside of the Suicide lane. So he's most likely going to be Suicide. I can't obviously guarantee that, but most likely is going to be. Zinc do follow up with a Torturer, so sort of following that sort of team fight potential. Most likely going to be a short lane Torturer, and there we go, Suicide Kraken. So a lot of team fight potential here from Zinc. Tree do have quite a good team fight for themselves, but I think Rampage actually is going to be a key hero here. If he can set up a lot of ganks, if he can slow down the push, if he can sort of stop the heavy sort of gold and iron pickups here for the team fight of Zinc, then this would be a key in sort of winning in game 2. But here we go, Breaky. Rampage on creative scene.
I think we can safely say this at least. There's not going to be a level 1 Conqueror attempt this game. And once again, there probably won't be for a little bit, as usual with the level 1 Conqueror. It happens every once in a while. It feels like maybe every month and a half to 2 months, and then it doesn't happen again until everyone's forgotten about it. So, but I guarantee you, Tree's going to at least scout Conqueror. And, Sync may, Sync's on Hellboy, and they'll probably be like, you know what, just check Conqueror, just in case.
Just do it.
But there's a chance. I mean, they are running Pharaoh after all, and he's pretty good at that. So, but yeah, probably not going to happen this game. So, guys, look, I mean, there's Suicide Rampage here. Boxy doing the Boxy thing, bringing the Courier with him, as Insanio was pointing out last game or last series even. Very interesting to see that.
So an interesting build as well. So he's got actually the 4 minor totems and actually shot a lot of regen. It probably is the best sort of iron build that he's going to go for, because it's going to be a 1v1 matchup, so he doesn't need those early boots to sort of survive. So in that sense, good iron pickups here for Boxy, and it's a lot of stats as well, so the harassment from Torturer isn't going to be that much in that respect either.
Yeah. That's interesting, actually. I mean, both teams, not the most games played with, the player-hero combinations. I mean, 39 and 34 even for Sync. And not the most games played. So, a couple cases here across the board. Maybe not the. I would think the Torturer on Flensmaster being one of those. Mickey on Monkey King. Granted, he's played it 3 times, which happens to be 100% win percentage, but still hasn't played it a whole lot. Would be another big one. But interesting stat to point out there. But yeah, you look at the makeup down here. You see Z. He's going to be ready to do the pull on the creep wave. But Kraken and Glacius are coming down here in the end for Zinc, so they're looking to address the Soul Stealer this time around, unlike last game. You see, they probably knew that this was coming, but it's like, what can you do? You can't really stop that. So.
Oh, they're actually going to drag it back to the creeps, actually. And I think that's because actually, if they did start jungling with the Magnus, most likely Glacius and Kraken would rotate it over. And obviously, it's going to be a 2v2 sort of match because Soul Stealer's just going to be busy sort of, last hitting creeps in the lane.
Yeah.
So in that respect, I think it's actually the best play to make because now actually they're going to rotate into a tri-lane. And it's actually something that Tree used to do quite a lot. When I was playing against him, they'd normally always run this jungle Magnus, but if we did actually man up against it in terms of tri-lane, they'd just rotate into a tri-lane themselves and run with a Magnus as a sort of secondary support in the lane. And now it's a tri-lane versus a dual lane. This is kind of sort of screwed up the plans from Zinc because now they are actually in trouble of getting bloodlusted here. Asane is going to move to the left because obviously Magnus is in fog, and now look at that. The dual lane from Zinc is completely sort of nullified. Actually, most likely Glacier is going to rotate over to the mid lane, and it starts all over again. Kraken got to be forced to charge back here. So yeah, that kind of initial sort of plan or strategy from Zinc has been nullified by that one little sort of pullback onto the creeps. So probably the next wave, actually, Magnus is going to take the creeps, and then it's going to start all over again.
Yeah.
Actually, mid lane. Pharaoh might be in trouble, actually. Here comes the gank from Glacius.
Yeah, there's that roam coming in, but Mummy Walls go up, and not really much follow-up in the end, understandably so. So, yeah, that's what I was going to say, though. Even with this transition, so it kind of makes sense that they're doing it. And, okay, is he actually going to – no, he's probably going to go for the top rune right here. I was going to say probably still come back middle, but, Pharaoh, he's used to this. He's used to playing Suicide even in 2v1 situations. Now, they do have kill potential. I mean, Pharaoh, even though he's usually more tankier and he's got the Mummy Walls to help out as well as the Hellfire, but you see right here, there's the jump from Monkey King. Now, big Mummy Walls is what I was getting at. Actually does prevent Monkey King from continuing to go back in. Kraken's going to cut him off, though, in case he gets the Bloodlust. In the end, Rhapsody was doing her part with the staccato stuns, but it wasn't going to be enough, clearly. And he comes through for it. So that's a big start right there, and the rotation definitely pays off. And a haste run on Glacius going top. Yeah. Rampage has absolutely no clue. He's going for a kill even himself or just to harass. And little does he know, Glacius coming in with the freeze ready to go. He probably thinks he has a getaway now. Not so much. Here comes Glacius. Freeze comes out. Rampage on the run, as he tends to do. It ain't going to happen, though. He goes down, and 2 kills just like that for Zinc.
And this goes back to such a great room control kind of from Zinc, actually. That one haste room set up 2 kills there for Glacier, for Insani there. That obviously boosts up Zinc by quite a lot because now obviously Pharaoh, even if Glacier does rotate to the top lane and stays there, Monkey King is most likely going to win this match on 1v1 now because he has that initial sort of kill. 390 GPM compared to 221 on Pharaoh. So just those 2 ganks in the sort of early sort of stages of the game makes such a big difference now. And now, obviously, Pharaoh's not going to be offering too much, and neither is Rampage on the top lane. The only sort of big factor here is the bottom lane, and actually, they've got 2 supports and sort of a hard carry in terms of Soul Stealer. So the plays aren't really going to be made here from Pharaoh and Rampage in the next couple of minutes, and that's a big thing, honestly. So a big early kills here from Zinc, sort of taking the lead and taking control early in this game.
Kraken this time around, the Mummy Wall is definitely helping and coming into play right there to keep him alive, and goes back to farming in the process. But Mickey on the Monkey King, especially with that assist that he's working off, 385 gold per minute. Very good start. Is not the top in the game, top on his team, but Soul Stealer, of course, has that award, as he's now 410 gold per minute. Again, very similar to last game. He's applying some good damage even on the tower right here, knowing that Kraken can't do much about that. But at the top lane, Torturer, he's not really that great a farm. 17-5. It's definitely winning the matchup, but Rampage managing a 14-0 even despite the death here in the end. So he's actually managed fairly well. Boxy kind of trying to be the nuisance that a Rampage can be. And, this is the curious thing about a Suicide Rampage as well. Now, clearly he has the potential to be very active with that charge ability, set up ganks elsewhere with the Q. Do you think, does he need to? Should he be looking for that, or is that going to be a later on thing?
I think it's going to be probably at level 6 because if he rotates right now, it's going to be obvious that he's going to go for a gank. So everyone from Zinc are going to back off. And actually, look at the wards here placed from Insania. I actually love these ward placements. He's actually kind of boxy into the top lane, if you can sort of pardon the pun. He knows exactly where he's going to be. If he's on the lane here from creeps, obviously he's going to get spotted by the creeps. If he backs off, he's going to get spotted from this ward over here, and a nice rune ward from the top lane, so they can spot out the rotation from Boxy wherever he goes. So this sort of stampede gank is going to be greatly reduced just by these 2 wards actually. Here comes actually Insania as well, going to maybe put some more pressure on Boxy. He might be fine. Stun just missed. Yeah, he's going to be fun. So, yeah, so just from these wards, though, I really do like him because it's going to sort of pen Boxy into this top lane.
Yeah. Yeah, level 6, though, to change that bind, a very good tool to assist with those ganks, but a very good point. Yeah, the ward aside's giving them every bit of information that they need against the possible charging from Rampage to come with that Stampede. So, excellent heads up, and just because you never really play against a hero or don't have a lot of experience, that clearly shows they know the mechanics, how it works. Up during TMM, they face this hero once or twice, it's safe to say. So it's understanding and good understanding, even despite never playing it against it on this top tier competitive level, let alone the grand finals with Cycle freaking 3. Yes, we see a Rampage, ladies and gentlemen. So 6-minute rune coming out right here. Monkey King actually bottles it up. It happens to be a haste rune top. He definitely has potential to make use of that. He's level 6. You know, he's not the kind of hero that gets that ultimate at level 6, though, as he passes it up here. That one-jin slam, as well as the Heavenly Vault that he's maxing out currently. And then one in the elusive dash to assist. The Sync's still the favorites in the straw pool, but, yeah, people maybe changing their minds a little bit as far as that's concerned. We saw he made a point last game. Zinc was definitely very heavily favored, and understandably so. I mean, there's no reason not to believe that, but obviously the way the first game went, maybe changing some minds there in this series. But bottom lane Kraken definitely in some trouble here. He has the charge as always, but will he be able to get it off in time? Will it matter? Magmus going in. There's Staccatos. There's the charge. Magmus going to be out of range.
Yeah, the stun from Magmus just wasn't there. But going back to what they've been doing down here from Free, actually, I do like what they've done. They've actually rotated Magmus onto the bottom lane, and as a result, he's going to get some farm. He desperately needs his portal key because, like I said, Pharaoh and Rampage did actually get sort of locked down because of that single gank from Insania. So they've actually rotated Magmus down here. He's going to try and focus on his portal key, and
Rampage
at the same time...
Rats the Pharaoh hit the creep. He was going for it, but yeah, the Haster caused issues, and now Rampage all of a sudden in trouble himself. He's going to end up dropping, it looks like. Yep, down goes Boxy. And Monkey King even gets delivered to Power Star Ghost Marches. And now he's going to use him right here to maybe go for a second kill. Kraken knows that, so he's trying to hide, but Monkey doesn't care. Mickey wants the kill, damn it. He's going to not get it, though, so unfortunately that'll be the case. But yeah, top tower also going down. Zinc really turning it on now. And again, the Suicide Rampage, unfortunately, maybe not working out as planned. Mickey still wants his kill, but all of a sudden Solstice here, and he doesn't have the haste anymore, so maybe Mickey overcommitting a little bit too much. If he lands a team in hand, that could be it. No, he doesn't hit it. And so he's going to be fine. Yeah, the charge is coming out, but he's most likely going to cancel that. Now, it does give them vision while he's charging.
Yeah.
But he's good.
That is true. But yeah, I mean, Zinc, they've actually took advantage of this. Obviously, the gank sort of fell middle. They took the tier 1 tower. Now they're pressuring tier 2. And like I said before, Pharaoh and Rampage did have kind of a bad start because of that initial gank. And they can't really rotate over. And neither can Solstice. He just has to go back in terms of mana. But Zinc are going to sort of back off in the end. But that's still a lot of pressure and a lot of damage they have put onto the tier 2. And now actually sort of Zinc, they're in the sort of driving seat at the moment. They are dictating the play, and this is obviously a dangerous thing for Tree now because they need to be the ones sort of dictating the pace of the game. Yeah. Otherwise, Zinc are just going to snowball from here.
They most certainly can, and you torture a solid hero at that, but also that's the kind of the really genius thing about this lineup. I mean, a short lane farming torture, he'll be good for your mid game. Late game, though, he's not the most scary carry compared to others, but they got a Monkey King, who's obviously off to a great start, and we know that he is a scary late game carry. As Mickey has shown several times now in these high competitive matches. So into the middle tower, they're going to push it as Zinc Esports. You see Willowkeeper in the vicinity somewhat. Rhapsody making her way over. You got Pharaoh coming in. He does have a Wrath of the Pharaoh, but they're definitely going to need more here if they ultimately want to stop this tower kill attempt. He's in the mummy walls and not going to catch though, and Kraken was just a little bit too far. He had the Tsunami charge anyway, so probably would have been fun as they at least deny the tower. So again, a little bit of something there for our Legion team. But Zlaptop Tempest, he's back to the top lane here and going to continue to try to push against Torture as he maxed out the impalements. Yes, he has. Not surprising. They have a lot of push tower presence with those two heroes alone. And they're going to try to do work at the top lane. So Soul Stealer, again, last game he went that Null Stone. You said it maybe made sense. This game, though, he's not going for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because obviously in the last game there was a lot of things that could be sort of important sort of block in terms of the Null Stone. In this game, it's all AoE elements. They've got obviously the Tempest, they've got the Kraken, and even sort of the Stun and sort of Glacial Downpour as well. The only thing that would be really blocking it is either the Volt from Monkey King or just the Immortal Prisoners bottom lane.
Yeah, we do see bottom lane. Kraken charges back in. Soul Stealer trying to hold his ground. He got the tower kill, but at what cost there? He goes down. And a little bit of the Z's come out as well after that. So I kind of got the halfway through, so I don't know if there's anything special there, but
he missed a deep hand. Yeah,
did he? Okay.
That was most likely going to be a death on Kraken, but yeah, going back to the Nullstone, there's not a lot that's going to be really blocking it, so there's no need for it. And actually, in top lane, Magnus goes down as well, so it just goes from bad to worse here for Tree. They still are in this game, obviously. They're only 3,000 to 4,000 gold down. At your middle lane, though.
Yeah, Monkey King, he's actually finding Pharaoh right here. More so, Pharaoh finds Monkey King. Rampage coming in with that charge. It's going to connect onto Glacius. He actually pulls back Monkey King. They kill Glacius, and Monkey King one auto attack away. Torture comes in, though. The chain reactions, big one gem slam, and the impalement now doing plenty of damage. Kraken also joining the party. Down goes Pharaoh. Rampage will survive. Soul Stealer chasing, though. He has some more demon hands to use. No, not going to be able to. And Torture ultimately living. The Tempest ultimate locks down Magnus. No stun to stop that. And Magnus is going to end up dying. Oh, my God. No, Keizu.
Oh, my gosh.
Keizu, he saves the day
Oh.
on his not-so-much teammate right there.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, I mean, they're still in a very good spot, but that's a little embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, he has to sort of get behind Magnus and then charge him into the tree because, like, obviously, the only initial damage he did there was actually, I think it was only 80 or 100 damage, I think, from the initial sort of damage from the Tsunami's charge. Obviously, didn't get the second impact damage. Like, again, not the biggest of deals. They are up quite a bit, but still, obviously, it's something to be noted there. But yeah, going back to, he actually looks like he's going to go for a Nullstone, though, most likely. Actually, he's picked up the Perseverance, unless he's going to sort of switch it into something else. But I mean, I think in the first game, it was a lot more prevalent, the reason why he needed to pick it up. In this game, obviously, it's still useful because he needs the mana regen to sort of keep farming, and it's still kind of good, obviously, against like the Heavenly Vault or the Ice Imprisonment and the Glacial Blast from Tempest as well. So, overall, not a bad item. It's definitely needed for Soul Stealer. So.
Yeah. Rampage, where is he going? He's charging the bottom lane. Yeah, he's looking for Tempest right here, it looks like, as he's going to connect right there. And Wrath of the Pharaoh hits Glacius, actually, but here comes Monkey King. Glacius is dropping in the background, but Monkey King doing his thing. Mummy Walls are on. Magnus stunts in. Rampage barely surviving. Not for long, though, once again. Soul Stealer off to the side. He doesn't realize, though, he's going to be cut off and flanked pretty much right here. Yeah, Kraken, he basically blocks him out. Soul Stealer going for the ultimate, but he couldn't get it off. He's trying so hard, but the lockdown too much, and he's been flanked around every which way. So, yeah, great plays continue. As hero blocking, definitely a thing right there. So 13 minutes in, I think it's safe to say Zinc's kind of getting revenge right here in Game 2.
Yeah, definitely. And it could go back to this. I mean, what has Rampage really done? Like, we talk about how Tree, they actually talk about Magnus is most likely to get picked off as well. Does get the stun off in
is
the
that
end.
Kraken? No, it's not. It's Rita Z, but still.
But yeah, just top lane actually. TP coming in should most likely be fine. Yeah, he's going to be fine, but. Yeah, just going back to the Rampage pickup though, like we talk about actually Tempest most likely get picked up.
It ain't stopping, man. Rampage, he wants to keep it going. He's going to pull back Tempest. Tempest, no ultimate or anything this time around, so he eventually is actually going to be picked up. And you know, something I'm noticing, I didn't even know this was a thing, it's actually Kraken also gets picked off on Pharaoh, speaking of him. Rampage, when he charges, it actually puts a symbol on them. I assume that's only for the spectators in his team.
Yeah, it's only allies.
So it's not for Sig, it's not like, that'd be a little
no.
silly. But anyways, that's kind of cool to know.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to this Rampage pickup, we talk about how Tree, you know, they pick very innovative heroes. We saw it last game, obviously, we had the Lord South Forest, you know, the Soul Stealer, and the Midas. But this game, I mean, it almost feels like they're picking these heroes just to be like, hey guys, look, we can pick kind of cool heroes. But I mean, what has the Rampage accomplished? Like, why didn't they pick up a different hero? Like, what does Rampage really offer compared to another hero? Like, he's had no impact in this game, 1, 3, and 2. Maybe it's just because of hindsight, and as a result, he hasn't had that much of impact in the game. But I mean, Rampage is a kind of a signature hero in terms of the tier men scene, but against competitive players, they know how to deal against him. They're gonna have, you know, a lot of wards on the map. Yeah. They're gonna call the rotations, and at the moment, I mean, just Rampage just hasn't had a big impact in this game.
Well, this is definitely one of those cases. You know, we have this discussion a lot. It's diversity, diversity. We love to see fun, different heroes. Rampage most certainly on the list of one of these fun, very unique heroes that we never get to see on the competitive scene. In fact, the one performance that comes to mind is actually Hani playing it a long time ago back at, I don't know if that was for OK or KD Gaming or whatever it was, but he actually dominated with it from what I remember of that game. And, you know, it's one of those things where, like, sometimes you see that hero that's never played come in and just wreck face, and you're like, why don't we see more of this? And then he's never played again anyways. But then other times you see this. You see where, you know, he's picked up, it's a lot of fun, we're hyped about it, sure, and for good reason. And it's good that they're trying it, but here's reasons why maybe he isn't seen the most. And yeah, a good team like Zinc Esports is, as you were pointing out there, I mean, even though they never play against it, they know how to prepare for it. And it's like, well, the one time they do see it, it's like, well, this is why he's not playing. We're going to show you.
Yeah,
why
exactly.
He's not played.
That's a great point to make. But I mean, Tree, they are far behind, but it's definitely not out of it. What they need, though, is they need the portal key on Magnus, and they need this null stone on Soul Sitter, because they're taking these team fights, and we stated before how Zinc, they have the superior team fight. And Tree can team fight, but they need these sort of key items for them to really have an impact in these team fights. And Zinc, they've got all the core items they need. They've got the Astrolabe on Tempest, obviously they've got the tablet on Torturer, Portal Key on Kraken, and the Hammer Black Legion on Monkey King. They've got like the initial item that they need. I mean, look at Pharaoh, look at Rampage, look at Magnus, look at Rhapsody. There's no item that they actually have. Even Solstice, he's only got his Perseverance, but that's offering nothing in terms of the team fights. So they're a little bit far behind in terms of their farm where they need to be to take these team fights. As a result, they are going to try and split push here. If they can get the 2 on mid, this would definitely be a start.
Yeah, and they do lose their bottom tower, but again, it's kind of like, they're pretty much had to. At least hopefully they'll get something out of it. They spot Glacius sneaking in here. Or so Pharaoh spots it. Pharaoh has a hatred as well. This actually could be something for Willowkeeper if they execute this correctly. They know Pharaoh's here, though, I'm pretty sure. He just rocketed in their face. Okay, there we go. Hellfire pops. So still going to be jumped. Beautiful charge. But Magnus Eruption, and gets it off in time. The release of Kraken came out, but he got the stun. The big soul burst, but there's the counter. Tempest ultimate. And Zinc Esports going to wreck face right there. All 5 stay alive. And a double tap for Flensmeister to throw it all off. Magnus the only survivor. And all of a sudden, Zinc now has a huge lead here in what is game 2.
And this is what I was talking about in the draft. I said that, you know, Tree, they have an alright team fight, but they need to find a way outside of the team fights to take advantage in this game. At the moment, they're not doing that. They're taking these team fights, and Zinc are just coming out ahead because they have the superior team fight heroes. They've got Tempest, they've got Kraken, and they're executing it perfectly. And as a result, that's why they're so far ahead. They're going to take the tier 2 top as well, and I mean, I don't know if there's much that Tree can do to get back into this game now, Breaking. Yeah, I think again, very similar to the game 1 as we're stressing there for Zinc. This time it's now for Willowkeeper. It's like, okay, the fun idea didn't really work out. Again, going back to the Rampage, just overall, though, nothing's clicking. I mean, it's one thing to look at the Rampage and see, but I mean, that was a suicide Rampage. That could have been any suicide hero, you know, very possibly could have been a very similar, if not the same result. So, yep, that's true. That's true. That's a fair point.
That's it's one of those things where like he's probably going to be the scapegoat, honestly, just because he's never seen. But you know, at the big picture, was that really the biggest deal why they're losing right now? So, Shieldbreaker going to be purchased. No, I think he sold it actually. He's maybe changing his mind up, but again, Zinc at the same time, they're going to keep playing, no reason not to, and going to continue to get further ahead. But again, the thing with this Legion lineup, their late game is not really comparable to the Hellborn team. I think that's safe to say. I mean, when it comes to late game, this is not a late game team at all, to be frank. Magnus is also going to be picked off right here. So the fact that they're down 15,000 gold, 13,000 experience, only 18.5 minutes in, it's like, usually in the case like this, if they had a Moon Queen, a Dark Queen, well, at least wait it out, sure. I don't know if there's really much reason to, but...
I'd agree with you. Obviously, the Tempest factor is such a big factor, particularly in the late game. Obviously, they got Monkey King for that late game presence as well, and it's really only Soul Stiller here for Tree, and he hasn't had the greatest form either. He's 0-3-0, only 330 GPM, and it's just looking very, very grim. But at the same time, obviously, it's only one game. It's going to be obviously 2-1 to obviously Zinc. Yep. They've still got another game to play after this game, and they had an absolutely dominating performance in game 1. So, if obviously they can maybe tune their draft a little bit, maybe try and slow down or at least stop the sort of team fight potential here from Zinc in the next game, then maybe they'll be in a better position. But in this game, I mean, they're going to sort of keep playing on, and why not, I guess. But there's definitely a potential comeback. It's just going to be very, very slim.
Oh, they're trying something up here at the top lane. In fact, Portal Q was just purchased by Rampage. He's actually charging the top lane. Who's he going for? I don't see any symbols up there.
He just run past
he's
the
going for
middle
torture.
creeps, though.
Okay, yeah, he's going for torture. Exactly. It's like
It's obvious. That's the problem.
They're very aware of that, and so they're going to spot that. So yeah, they're kind of reacting. They know that he's charging somebody up here, and as you see, though, Rampage canceled it anyways. He realized that they were pretty much reactive to it. They probably spotted him anyway, so they can't contempt.
And that's
not going to follow.
And that's kind of another issue with Rampage. Like, you can't obviously, it's incredibly like direct, the Stampede. It goes through like everything. Obviously, it doesn't go over hills, for example. But it'd be kind of cool to see maybe like if they could somehow implement like a Stampede that can go like a different direction. Like maybe you could like move it to like go a certain path. Perhaps that'd be kind of cool. But because obviously that gank was completely forward just because they saw Rampage charging mid. Like, obviously, Zinc are very aware of that. But here comes another Rampage charger onto Rampage middle automatically middle lane.
He just portal keys in. He wanted to get for the distance. He goes in, but no, Monkey King's going to be fine, and his follow-up wasn't close enough. In fact, Magnus actually stunts out, going to be fine. But yeah, exactly. And we've seen this before. I mean, Mickey likes to do this. Gets that early Helm of the Black Legion. And on top of hell, he has a Power Supply, Mystic Vestments. He's got a lot of kind of bulkier items earlier on, as well as a Shield Breaker, which is level 2, and Ghost Marches. So he's kind of that great mix of, he's somewhat tanky, but he's also has potential to do a lot of freaking damage because of his skill set and the current items he has. So I mean, it makes sense. It does, and clearly he's comfortable with your hero he's comfortable with. But yeah, he survived there. That was the biggest deal. Like I said, the Portal Key Rampage, clearly not enough to do much right there.
Yeah, and this goes back to obviously how Zinc have drafted it. The whole actually middle lane, Glacier's going to get picked off most likely.
Yep, Pharaoh, Mummy Walls coming up. Glacius, is he though? Is he going to be picked off? It doesn't look like it. They're going to turn on the Torture, however. They know that he's the bigger target. Soul Burst down goes Soul, so they do get Torture, but at what cost here for them? Magnus now on the run. He's most likely going to be finished, so it's a 2-for-1 exchange in Zinc's favor. They are just fine taking that at this point, especially where they're at in the game. Rhapsody on the run. Not for line, though. She's also going to end up falling, it looks like. Just a matter of time. Oh, the troll's real. The troll is real.
Case like giving the kill.
Yeah.
Case was him, but yeah, I mean, clearly you've got issues if you can't actually kill a support here on Zinc when you sort of blow everything on it. But yeah, I mean, just going back to the draft from Zinc though, I mean, I did like how they put Monkey mid. I talked about how Tree that they were going to run a solo mid, and you know, Mickey had a great start. So even at 300 or 400 GPM at the first couple of minutes in, and as a result, it has sort of snowballed to this stage now. 515 GPM. He is the highest farmer in the game right now, and as a result, is taking a big effect in these team fights and in the game.
Fall back from Sync Esports. No point to pressure the issue. They have such a comfortable lead. Might as well get back for the meantime. Balthazar, really? Oh, in a win. Okay, that makes more sense. So this guy just farms. Low CMPM in a win is, 415 gold per minute. So what hero was that on, out of curiosity? Wonder if that was on a lesser carry hero. That probably makes sense. But he's obviously playing the Soul Steel here, so I mean that wouldn't be out of the question. But in that case, okay, it was even on a Puppet Master. But something tells me that game they probably had a secondary go-to carry.
Like Madman or Valkyrie. Yeah.
Unlike this game where they have a Rampage, well, he's not going to be...
He's the hardest carry in the game break. You don't know what you're talking about.
Bash procs, man. Crazy stuff. Yeah, not so much. Not so much on the hard carry side. Now, he is good at ganking, and once again, trying to assist with that up here at the top lane. Torture, somewhat tanky, not tanky enough. Back up zero score Tuck gets the kill. Pharaoh, he's going to be fine. You see the release Kraken, but Kraken's got there just a little bit too late anyway, so, well, that's a kill, and it's a start once again. It's like, how many times can they do? Okay, what was that? Pharaoh, Cthulhu Font, Behemoth. All over 300 gold per minute. Really? No, we're missing one hero there. Who was the 5th hero then? Oh, I guess it would have been in just the support. Okay, that makes sense. Really? They won with that lineup?
You're talking about the Behemoth went carry, like, he just went like Doombringer and just took advantage of the crazy crits. I'm showing you.
That's pretty crazy they won with that lineup with the... Anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, back into this game though. Obviously, I think Monkey's got a full shield breaker. I think level 3. Yeah, it's gonna be level 3 as well. So he's gonna be dishing out a lot of damage. Portal Key on Tempest as well. Strong Head and Knee clearing up on Kraken. And it looks like they're gonna take Congo most likely, and then push from high ground from there.
Yeah. Did you say a level 4 shield breaker? You said
level 3. Sorry, I meant level 3. We're talking about is a hidden level of shield breaker. Do you know that?
It's the only one that Mickey can get. If you're on Mickey's level, then he can go level 4.
Exactly.
But yeah, Kogor, someone being attempted. Really, this is more of just a tree. Come on, get out of your base. Come fight us.
Yeah.
Kind of bait right here. Which actually, I mean, they kind of fall back from it, though. I'm a little surprised with that, honestly. It's pretty much secure for them, so.
Yeah, Zinc just don't want to sort of make any sort of failed initiations. There is a lot of wombo combo in sense of like Soul Stealer and Magnus, obviously. And they don't have the greatest of visions to sort of spot the rotations coming out from tree. Like if they come up this sort of hill here, they won't be seen. So it's probably just a safe play to make. Obviously, they know they've got this game as long as they don't make any misplays. And one big team fight though can turn it obviously for tree. So if they can get some great initiations, obviously a massive eruption on top of like a big soul burst, then there's no stronger heads here on Zinc. So I mean, we talk about how Zinc definitely have this game in hand, and they definitely do. But there is still a potential here for tree to take this game.
Kraken, well, a missed charge could possibly start things right here. Keizu in some trouble himself now. Release Kraken going to be coming out and will catch Soul Stealer and actually lock him down initially. Glacial downpour, down goes Rhapsody, but they are going to get 2 kills in response. But now here comes Torture. Torment's up. Look at that AoE damage. It is adding up over time. Not going to be any kills just yet, though. Pharaoh, he doesn't have much more room to go. He basically has to accept death at that point. Rampage also goes down. Soul Stealer had gotten out there pretty damn quickly after the initial kills happened. So, was there buybacks? Oh, definitely was. Yeah, both Kraken and Glacius buyback, and now they go right for Kongor after that. So a little bit of something again for Willowkeeper. Ends up the bigger picture, better for Sync anyways. And this is going to be that guaranteed Kongor kill. Token of Life very likely going to go to Monkey King. And I wouldn't be surprised to see making their way towards the base at that point. There are no more outer towers remaining. So, again, yeah, the no shrunken heads here on the Hellborn side. The wombo combo potential on the Legion team is there, but it's not easy, especially with how much farm there is on the Hellborn side to be able to get. And you do have a portal key, though, with that set on Soulsteer. I was going to say not really the best initiation, but they do got a portal key on both him and Magnus. So, maybe if they get something out of that. But, well, as I say that, a shrunken head is picked up by Monkey King. So, he's going to now have that to mitigate, at least ideally mitigate the initiation or the damage at least follow-up. So it is kind of interesting, though, seeing how this game, too, is played out like last game, where one team is just really ahead, and usually by now we would have seen that other team concede, but they're sticking in here. In this case, Willowkeeper hoping for that chance. And I think that maybe just goes back to how much is on the line here, ultimately. With
so much
the price
money,
pool, it's a good split, even between first and second. Yeah, it's like $2,500 difference. Top lane, Monkey King. They use the Soul Burst. Now look at Monkey King. He doesn't even care. He tries to fight back. It will use the Token out leaf, but Soul Stealer is going to fall shortly after, and it's going to be another portal key away. And actually, Rampage will survive. So, I mean, they got the token, but now Soul Stealer's dead.
Yeah, and now they can start actually pushing into the base right now, because obviously Soul Stealer does have a buyback, but I mean, it's going to be the advantage that Zinc are looking for to sort of break high ground, and here comes the group up from Zinc.
Yep. At the top lane, everyone here, well, other than Kraken, who's making his way over at least, as that Soul Spill working. Going to be joining the team in just a couple of seconds right here, but of course Monkey King in the front line, so no more Shrunken Head, doesn't really matter. He has a double damage rune as well. Already has potential to do so much damage. Now a double damage rune on top of that, you want to stay away if you're Willowkeeper, but it's kind of that awkward spot of we can't really stay away because we got to defend our home, damn it, and that they're going to try to do. So again, the Wombo combo potential is there. Soul Stealer going to be up in 10 seconds. But Sync, are they even going to give them that opportunity? Kind of somewhat falling back, almost as if they're not exactly sure what they want to do just yet. And it looks like they're going to play it safe, though, in the end. And again, it's maybe for as a spectator, it's making it like, oh, come on. But in their mind, I mean, why? They don't need to. They are they're ahead by so much. I mean, constantly go back to the fact, I mean, when it comes to late game, they have the advantage anyway, so.
Exactly. I mean, I would definitely play defensive. Like, if there's that much money on the line, like, you're going to play defensive. Like, the only way that Tree can get back is if a failed initiation comes out from Zinc or like a bad team fight. And the best way, obviously, to get a bad team fight is going to be through high ground vision or high ground sort of breaking into base. So it's just a safe play to make. Obviously, they've got the map control. They can easily take Congo when it comes back up, and from there, maybe they'll start looking in. And I mean, you don't want to sort of rush when there's a lot of money on the line, like we said before. So.
Yeah. So 29 minutes in, Willowkeeper still hanging strong here. Shrunken Head is actually just about finished on Soul Stealer. He just needs the pattern for that. So Matter of really just under 400 gold here, and he is going to have that. And that's kind of that awkward spot, though, as well. If he's Shrunken Head as usual, good to have, but you got a Tempest. You also got a Monkey King who doesn't really care about a Shrunken Head too much. He's all physical, and that'll show, I'm sure, in those fights. So Monkey King roaming around that Nimbus cloud of his as he does. Dragon Ball Z style right here. Looking for anybody, but not going to find anyone just yet. In fact, the Shrunken Head have now purchased, and so they're going right back to base. Again, that's just map control coming into play as well. They know that they have to play so safe right here themselves because of where the game's at. Does Willowkeeper. Rampage manages to finish a Soul's Bulwark, so again, he's kind of accomplished. He's got the Portal Key, he's got a Soul's Bulwark, he's got a utility now. He's an initiator in that sense. I mean, it's not too bad at all, but it's a lot more things overall need to continue to happen here, of course, for our Legion side. So Think Tree again, though, just keeps on going back to that they're really just relying on a hold up the base, very possibly a big team fight that somehow they manage to line everything up, and then see where the game goes from there. But because that's the thing, even with their deficit, even if they just absolutely 5-0 and 5 at their base, it's just like, oh well.
Yeah, there's got to be at least 3 or 4 team fights that go in Tree's favour before they're actually back into this game. But I mean, obviously they're still alive in the next game. Maybe they don't think they're that far behind in that sense, and just from the off chance that there's a potential or possibility to get back into this game, like, why not try it, I guess. And I mean, there's 2 Shrunken Heads now picked up from Zinc, Tempest and Monkey, but the one more combo is still there. If they can get like a nice lockdown on Monkey and Tempest, there could be a lot of damage, coming out just from the Soul Stealer himself. So the game's still on. Just try and forget about how far behind they are, 20,000 gold behind.
Yeah. So the game must go on. We do have a report, by the way. Apparently, the Gold Grand Finals were rescheduled. So we're definitely looking forward to at least keeping an eye on that. Again, the PI, Prime Icarus, actually advancing out of the Grand Finals. So it's them, but the big picture has really been accomplished. It's them and Dawn are, of course, going to be advancing to Diamond for next cycle. Shrek is Love falls 1 game short, but as Quincy pointed out earlier, apparently Game 3 went to a base race where PI ended up winning it despite having Mega Creeps up against them. So I was actually looking for the replay. I wasn't able to find it yet. I'm sure it eventually will come up, and I'd be intrigued to kind of see that for myself and maybe do something with it. But anyway, but the grand finals for that has been rescheduled, and maybe if it happens to be on a certain day that's opened up, we'll see.
Yeah, man.
But
I'm down for it.
Anywho, back to this one. More counter warning coming out here by Glacius. He's just roaming through the jungle, feeling pretty confident, and for good reason, that he can do this. Yeah,
that water rift just out of sight. Actually. Yeah, he was actually counter warding. He got the Rev ward, but didn't actually get the main ward from Fusen actually in the end.
Yep. I'm waiting for the Thunderclaw still.
Oh yeah, he did say.
This is the game to do it. I mean.
Oh, definitely. Like, he's picked up a major totem as well. He picks up a major totem. Like, I don't know what he's doing.
It's a waste of gold at this point.
He always makes false promises, like.
I know, it's ridiculous. It's like this whole Artesia thing, and
I know.
Don't worry, we're gonna see him. He's so strong, and no, we've never seen him. Her, whatever, it. Soul Stealer top lane. He's got Magma support, so just taking any farm again that he can, and quickly falls back before the jump happens. So yeah, not often Willowkeeper has 7 hero kills at 33 minutes, but that's exactly where we're at, and. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if you would have this, Quincy, but hero kills per game for the teams, and wondering how Tree fares in their games. I would assume that they would be up there as one of the more.
I think they'd be the highest.
Higher ones, yeah.
I'd assume they'd be the highest. But they're always so aggressive, actually, regardless of sort of what stage the game is in. But let's talk about how actually Trey can maybe get back into this game. The way they can get back into this game is obviously they need to get back in the game with big team fights, but before they do that, they need to get some pick-offs, because at the moment they're just AFK farming, and I mean they're not going to sort of reduce the deficit of 22,000 gold just by farming unless Zinc go AFK for 50 minutes, for example. So they need to eventually get through with the pick-off potential, and they actually have not bad pick-off potential. They've got Rampage, they've got Pharaoh, and then obviously they've got 2 portal keys on Magnus and Solstice. So if there is a chance to get back in this game, it's through ganking and getting a few pick-offs where Zinc maybe get a little bit sort of content with what they're doing. You know, they're not too sort of on the ball in terms of their positioning. Maybe if Keizu sort of pushes a little bit far up, then Tree, they need to be there to sort of capitalise on that mistake. Staff the Master picked up it on Farah, and that would be the perfect item actually to try and make the kills happen, because the 20-second cooldown on a return of Wrath of the Pharaoh is that they can use it and sort of waste it because it's on such a low cooldown. So at least try and use it, because if they take a team for or try for a gank and it doesn't work, then I guess you lose the game. But at the moment they're going to lose the game anyway, so they at least have to try and make the gank happen.
Yeah, and they need everyone on Zinc's monitors to just shut off randomly, and not so they can't see anything too. That'd be nice too. But yeah, no, it's getting that opportunity. That goes back to though. I know I made a joke there, but part of it too is honestly there because Zinc needs to just absolutely make mistakes. We're at that point most certainly where they have to throw themselves almost to an extent at Willowkeeper. And this is not a team that usually would do that. Even the best, though. Hell, even History, Stay Green, Fnatic, whatever you want to say. Believe it or not, they make mistakes too. Not everyone's perfect, so and it's possible. But yeah, it's clearly just. The lead just continues to grow for Zinc. It'd be one thing if at least we're being stabilized, or maybe Tree was even climbing back a little bit, but. There's just so many reasons why. In fact, Magnus bottom lane, finally a kill happening, and it happens to be Magnus beat alone. And Zlapt even throws out the ultimate. It's like, I'm not using this anyways. Might as well use it to guarantee a kill on a U. Make that happen. So you see Quincy busting out some stats, though, ones that we asked for, so it looks like had some information. So apparently they're really tied for second. It's very close. They happen to be third, but just over 20. But BMG actually managing top. At 24.7.
They play pretty aggressive as well, actually. In terms of their strategy, they have quite gank-heavy sort of lineup, whereas Tree kind of have 4-1 strategy. BMG always pick up the Parasite, for example, and obviously that is going to involve a lot of aggression. But Congo is up though, and I guess the kill on Magnus and the ultimate from Timbers was definitely worth it.
That's interesting though with that second part. Now, if you do it by kills per minute, I guess that's more of an appropriate way because game lengths can completely vary, but. Zinc is up there in second place, so you might say to yourself, well, what about Zinc? Their games usually tend to be a little bit shorter because they have easier times against their opponents, especially earlier rounds. So, and then WAP actually third. Interesting there. Good old WAP Dash, who unfortunately is being knocked down to the gold division for next cycle as a result of how they performed this one. So, but yeah, Congo kill happens. That was the second Congo kill, I believe, right? Yeah, second Congo. So no bananas yet, but Token going to be on Torturer. And they're doing a lot of swapping around here. All right, just making sure he can get what he has as that's the sheep stick. So, again, Zinc playing their game of why not, so let's just keep our farm going. There's no reason for us to do anything different here. We're not the ones who control the game. Well, kind of are, but actually Magnus stuns in. Farrell with the follow-up. They're looking for a chance. Glacial downpour off to the side. Plenty of return damage. Protected Melody saving Farrell right there. Going to be stopped though. Rhapsody ends up costing her life. Down goes Farrell though. Down goes Kraken. Magnus stuns in. No ultimate from Soldier. Going to be channeled, though. He takes out Torturer, saving it for later, but it's not going to be a later, unfortunately. He gets picked off. And the chase now continues with Monkey King. So Monkey King wasn't there initially, but you saw as soon as he got there, all of a sudden, Skull's to their melts. And does he? Oh, yeah. Wow.
But yeah, I think this is going to be the writing on the wall here for Tree. They've obviously got nothing left in the tank. They do have a buyback from Salsa, and he does just use it there. Actually, the Rapture comes in.
Yeah, they're trying again. Why not? Holding as much as they can, but it's not going to be nearly enough as expected. Shrunken Egg going off right there by Monkey King. Now he's flying around left and right. He may actually fall. No, he's going to barely live in the end. So he already used his token, remember. And I think Zinc may have actually overcommitted. So maybe the firepower was. Oh, it goes in!
Oh,
not many people would do that, but Mickey's not many people.
Manly.
so manly, and it pays off. They do kill Glacius in the end, but yeah, that's one of those oh god, I just want to run because it's panic mode. No, he's like, no, we can kill him.
I guess the portal key actually is pretty useful in that respect as well, so you can get the combination instantly there as well, which definitely was a key factor. But Tree technically did hold their break here. I'm just gonna say,
yeah,
and they were fighting against Token as well. So
there's hope. It's like part of me is like, why did they hold? It's like, the inevitable's coming, man. You know the inevitable's
coming. Tap out, man. Tap out.
Look at those leads. Man. 32,000 gold, 35,000 experience. There's no Moon Queen in the game, so the chances are basically 0.00001%. at this point.
We
But
gotta believe.
perseverance, we do talk about that. What's up?
That's true. What was the game that that Moon Queen? I think it was like 40,000 goal behind, or was it 30?
It was around. It was in the 30s, I believe. It was like 30,000
Okay.
or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, please don't pause. Oh God, please no.
We got some lag here.
Got some lag. It's gonna be really important that we make sure that
It'd be really creative if somebody says
it.
remake question mark. Yeah. So gonna have a pause here again. Probably just some. Maybe they're talking it over as far as what they can do. But again, to clarify, guys, this is a best out of 5. So I see some people saying, you know, oh, it's going to be over. No, it's Zinc. It's sure a win here would be very good for them and put them ahead. But it is a best out of 5, so we at least have one more game, possible 2 more, if then Willowkeeper can fight back and force a final game coming out here in this best out of 5 series. So what another cycle it's been, though. Obviously, leading up to this, of Willowkeeper versus Zinc. Maybe not the most surprising matchup, but a very deserving one at that. And that's usually not a bad thing. So, I mean, I guess let's rate a pause. So, again, I kind of brought this up earlier yesterday, or yesterday even, about Zinc and how, you know, this is the 3rd cycle. Again, this series still has series left. But at the same time, no team has actually won more than 3 cycles in a row. So, you know, if Zinc ultimately does happen to come out on top, then, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what happens moving on to the next cycle. That might be the turning point for other teams such as Willowkeeper to really step up and make something different happen. But this is looking very good, at least to put Zinc up 2-1 here in this best out of 5. So that is true. There is that good old 6-minute delay, as been from the beginning of Honcast on the stream.
It's about damn time.
Frankie, what about Chargers? Talk to me. They're actually 7-0 up. They're 7-0 up against Jets.
Chargers. I think it said Charges, like Rampage. Oh, I mean.
Oh, right. No. Sorry.
I guess. We already talked about it, though. Yeah, no, I've been poking in here and there and kind of keeping an eye on that, so. My Charges doing work as I would expected. Yeah, we don't need him. Who needs Tempest? Useless at this point, right? So, but yeah, no, it's going to be fun to see how that plays out. Doing some Ancients. You got 4 players up here for Willowkeeper. Just protecting against Pharaohs to farm. It's like I don't even know who they're trying to get farm on at this point. It's well, I guess Solstice is the obvious, but he wasn't up there with them, so they're just doing what they can. They're going to go for a kill, maybe. No, Monkey's too smart.
At least they're trying to do something. That's the key. Like they're not kind of sort of sitting back and farming because they know they've got to try something incredible. Actually, bottom lane, Soul Stealer.
Yeah, he is going to be caught right here, and that's going to be a dead Soul Stealer shortly after. Obviously, the team support wasn't really there in time. Here comes Pharaoh, though. Now, Monkey King's not necessarily here, but Pharaoh, the problem with this initiation, his team decided not to follow him up. Now, he gets tabbing it out. He's going to be firing now. Here comes that team support as Rampage pulls away with Kraken, but his teammate in Magnus got picked off in the background. Soul Stealer is back. They pick off Kraken, now going for Torturer. But guess what? Mickey's like, I'm back, bitches. He's now in the party, and he's looking to make something happen. Tempest jumps in. No follow-up, though, as the portal key just a little bit too quick right there. So, jeez. These PKs are too quick, man, on the other side. And able to get away.
The tree do defend, like.
That they do. The defense is real.
Seems so weird. I mean, obviously, Solstice doesn't have any more buybacks, so if they do pick him off, that's most likely game. But again, though, maybe I don't know if Singer just playing this maybe a bit too passive, but at the same time, Triar's still sort of hanging in there, to say the least. So, I mean, I'm not saying this is a comeback for Tree, but
I do agree. I do feel like Sing's almost playing a little scared for some reason. But is he coming through? No, he's trolling. He's trolling. Is what he's doing. Yeah, he knows that we're looking for that. He's not actually buying it.
I'm such a mug.
This troll, man. Man. Okay. Oh my God. Is there a way to cancel that? It's the first time that's ever been abused. Man. Anyways. Top lane, you see Willowkeeper again in that area. Looking for any possible kills. Look at that behemoth heart and Monkey King. So now not only does he dish out crazy damage, good luck even remotely killing him at this point. 2,800 life, hitting for nearly 300 max on top of his skill set. So Legion team falls back once again. Maybe the only thing that's really kind of, I guess this could be a mindset of they have the rack still. I mean, they've been able to hold.
Yeah,
they have their rack, so I guess it's almost a little bit awkward sometimes to concede when you still have your barracks at least. So maybe that's where they're kind of coming from here. Wait at least until that happens, then maybe throw in the towel. But.
Top lane, Monkey King might be in a little bit of trouble actually. There's 3 heroes are engaging on him.
So here's the thing though. Is he in trouble or are they in trouble?
Monkey King 3v1 practically.
Yeah.
Soulstealer is coming though. Rampage has got invis as well. They're going to follow him, and Zinc aren't really in a position, but there's a stun.
There you go. There's the charge, the follow-up eruption. Nope, he's pulling him away from Magnus. That's not usually the best strategy right there. And actually now, Magnus, like I said, is he in trouble or are they in trouble? Well, guess what? They are in trouble. And down go both Magnus and Rhapsody, so Willowkeeper going to be falling back once again here.
Well, you might have an end to this game though, Rocky, so there's that, I guess.
Maybe.
Let's see.
Yeah, they're actually doing some split pushing. All 3 lanes even being pushed in here as Glacier's even middle at this point. So there's an Abyssal Skull on Kraken, or not Kraken, Rampage. Being picked up. Kraken actually got his demonic breastplate. There's the jump. Kraken the follow-up. Soulstealer. Can he at least get an ultimate off? He's trying, but the lockdown from the Blitz Kraken. Actually, Mickey, he's in trouble. There's the Soul Burst, and Mickey will fall. Yes, he will. Oh, jeez. They are still holding, aren't they? Bottom lane, you see Torches pushing there. Here comes Tempest. There's an ultimate. Is it going to be canceled? Yes, it is. The bash auto. Not often you would see that. But the second Tempest ultimate now going to be coming out. Unfortunately, the follow-up not the prettiest. And actually Slapped will fall back. Meanwhile, Torture doesn't even care. He's pushing bottom, having his own game. He's playing versus the environment here. And Monkey King has actually popped back and has rejoined the fight. So, all right, they finally break through.
Maybe.
And I think we actually do have a finish here.
Oh, man.
Game 2. GG being called, and there you go. So,
such a close game there.
Zinc Esports takes game number 2 and thus up 2-1. I don't know if there's really much else to say, honestly, other than, again, just...
Yeah, take me to game 3.
You could say the scapegoat was Rampage. I think just overall things weren't clicking there for Willowkeeper.